Welcome, everybody. NFL action. I'm with Joe Gavassi today, and we're going to talk about the conference championship game between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. And, you know, me, first and foremost, I'm still scratching my head. I'm amazed at what Carolina did and how Cam Newton has just stood up and matured the whole season without making a lot of mistakes. Cardinals, though, are coming in a very well-coached team, a very good defensive team, and they found some offense. And Larry Fitzgerald certainly found his legs of youth again last week. All right, Joe Gavassi likes the Cardinals. Even though they're getting 3, Joe says outright victory on the road. So, Joe, first and foremost, welcome back. What is it that's instilling that confidence in you and obviously Carson Palmer and company for the Cardinals to get an outright win at Carolina?
A lot of things much the same on these teams, and we'll get into that in just a moment. First of all, at halftime of these games last week, I may not have had the same pick, for Carolina was truly dominant in that first half, leading 31-0, courtesy of +2 turnovers with Russell Wilson at the helm for the Seahawks. That lifted it to +22 net turnover margin for Carolina this year, the #1 turnover margin in the NFL. As we know, turnovers win point spreads in pro football. However, the second story was quite a different example of the way in which these teams play football and changed the whole momentum for how these teams enter the game. For after allowing Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers to strike for their second Hail Mary pass of the year, Arizona responded immediately through the legs of Fitzgerald, a 3-play drive, the winning touchdown in overtime, just like that. And suddenly, Arizona comes in with a greater momentum rather than the Carolina team who played not to lose in the entire second half last week. And that's not the first time the Panthers have done that. Quick look at the stat column tells us, well, and not much to choose between these teams. Outstanding offenses and defense as well, as the statistics point out. Slight edge to the Carolina running game in this one, especially with their running back core now at full health. They're outstanding in that way. And, of course, Cam Newton, just that outstanding year after the near-death experience at the close of last season in his personal life, bounced back with great leadership for the Panthers, who are now 21-2 straight up on the run. And hard to refute that, especially how they played on this home field, where they've won 9 straight games this season, covered 7 of those, and outgained the opposition by an average of 168 yards. That's all very, very impressive for Carolina in this game. We're going to side with Arizona, who counters with the tandem of Arians calling those plays and quarterback Palmer at the helm, and they have just an impressive mark, going 22-3 straight up when Palmer has started in recent games. So a lot to like about Arizona. Key deciding factor in this game for me is the momentum of how these teams ended last week. I like Arizona, might have a little bit of motivation for their playoff loss on this field last year when they were forced to start 4th-string quarterback Lindley. So a couple of small factors pointing toward Arizona. If they beat the spread, they're going to win the game, send Carolina to their first loss. We're going to side with Arizona in a high-scoring game against the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, Joe, not a lot of people are talking about that game last year, but you know that's got to be fresh in their mind. And they did. They had a 4th-string quarterback. And, you know, this team's hungry. I really believe they're hungry. And one thing that I liked is the way this David Johnson, running back that's been filling in for Chris Johnson, he had a nice game last time out. And I think they're going to utilize that weapon a little more in this contest. Another factor why I love this play, and I just love what the way you broke it down, because it's all based on facts, is the secondary is banged up for Carolina, and I think that's going to be exploited by Palmer. And another factor on offense is Ted Ginn and Olsen both, were banged up last game. And Ginn, he's up and down anyway. Olsen, he's a warrior. I know he'll show up, but will those injuries have an effect on them being 100%? And that remains to be seen. My hat is off to that team. Coach Ron Rivera's done a great job. Luke Kuechly, in my mind, is almost MVP material. He is just, a go-getter. He's focused. He reminds me of a Mike Singletary from the '85 Bears sometimes. But, I like it, Joe. I like the breakdown. One other quick question for you. Do you think we're going to see any more movement in that line before kickoff?
I don't. I think it's going to stay a solid 3 points. It has edged up with line going up a little bit from 3. So I think if there is movement, it will go upward and certainly favor us. But I wouldn't count on that. 3's often a very solid number, as we all know. So let's assume that it's going there. And if it ticks up a half notch, all the better for us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you heard it, viewers. Joe, without a doubt, loves the Carolina Panthers to get beat this week by the Arizona Cardinals outright without points and to advance to the Super Bowl. So, Joe's not giving us any reason to dispute him. Let's cash another ticket with Joe Gavassi in this championship game. And again, it is going to be a solid pick with the Cardinals +3. Joe says they don't need the points. Joe, thanks so much. I wish you the best of luck this weekend. Beat the book and beat them hard, and come back and see us again on Monday.